Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, comrades of all kinds, thank you for joining me no matter where you're at across country around this big, beautiful globe. And this is a topic that we should obviously be talking about a little more often, but we don't. Loneliness in general, loneliness for the elderly, loneliness for women, the male loneliness epidemic. We should be talking about stuff like this more often in general, but of course, this is a more political channel, and we are very process-oriented. We're not into the drama. Every time there's a circular firing squad, I jump in the fucking middle to say, cut it out. Okay, that's what this channel's become, basically. Oh, these two are fighting, guys. I don't think we should waste our time on rallying around them. We should focus on the process, the program, process to get the program and restore our great truths. That's what we're here for. Okay? But you do got to get down to the nitty gritty. You can't just be talking about those things every single time. I can throw that in there, but you got to talk about stuff like this. Now, it should be obvious that the male loneliness epidemic is intrinsically linked to the male suicide epidemic. All right? When your roles are killed, when your dreams are killed, and parts of you are dying every single day, it's no wonder people kill themselves, right? It's not that confusing. No. What are the three big reasons that people end up so lonely? And I'm talking men of a certain age, not men who are 90 and all their friends and family have died, right? What are the three big reasons men become lonely and stay loners, right? They may just decide to stay loners. I think the first one's pretty obvious. It's rejection across the board, right? It could be in the workplace. It could be in the living space. You know, you don't get along with your family. Your friends kind of, maybe don't treat you as friendly as they should. Okay, they may be a little abusive. Who knows? Who knows? Think about the learning space, how people get treated at school, how kids treat each other, how adults even treat each other, right? Think about the rejection people go through in the play spaces, dating apps and the clubs, bars, etc. It's no wonder that people end up withdrawing a little bit. Is that surprising? I don't think that should be surprising. When you are treated like garbage everywhere, including by your own institutions, the government, etc., okay, you're going to withdraw a little. Now, I think the second big reason is probably dismay. It's not even just how you get treated. Someone like me, a loner, I would consider myself a bit of a loner, or others. It's not even just how you, the loner, get treated. You're watching how people treat each other, and you're just stunned. You would never think in a million years to behave like this towards someone you apparently are supposed to like. Family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, fellow students, whatever. People you're supposed to at least basically get along with, show a basic level of human decency to. We don't see any of that. The road rage epidemic, people getting killed left and right there, cops shooting people every day, a school shooting every week, a mass shooting every day. People are not treating each other very well, okay? You can just get online and look at the discourse. It is awful. That's why I quit checking my notifications years ago. I stopped looking at notifications, and I stopped doom scrolling. Okay, no more scrolling. I get on, I post, I copy and paste it and put it on the other platforms, and I leave. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and argue with people. Look how people talk to each other. It's unbelievably cruel. So people are in a bit of dismay, and should you be that shocked that they withdraw when they're in such dismay? When we are a country so awash in animus and enemy, so awash in guns and greed, there's no social covenant. It's not like, look, if the social covenant had just been like broken in half, people say, okay, we can work with that. Broken in four. People say, we could work with that. It has been smashed asunder. Okay? It has fallen victim to the hands of fate, the sands of time, and it has been cast into the winds of change. So there's no wonder that people withdraw a little bit. And the last one, I think, is probably the most voluntary. Perhaps you could look at it that way. It is desire. Desire to improve. They say, well, look, I've been rejected. I see how people treat each other. Maybe if I'm good enough, maybe if I'm just good enough, I'm just, groomed well enough, my fashion's enough, I'm freaking pumped up enough, right? I'm well read, I'm reading and all that stuff. I'm listening, I'm watching and learning. Maybe if I'm working on my money, I'm working on my politics. Maybe if you're just good enough at all those things, you'll be just good enough to not be rejected in all the spaces you've been rejected. And you won't be subject to the treatment that all these other people you're watching are subject to. Okay? Is that just wishful thinking? It might be. It might be. So I believe there's a huge role in self-improvement, though. Look, strong individuals can help make strong families. Strong families can help make strong communities. Strong communities can help make strong nations, right? And as an international socialist, international, we need many nations. You can't just have one world government. That doesn't make any sense. Where's the international in that? You need strong nations to have strong relationships with. It starts on an individual level, either way you look at it, right? Small group level. But, I used to always give this little, spiel, and it applies here. How many dreams of someone's can you break before you break them? How many people do you have to break a family? How many families do you have to break to destroy a community? And how many communities do you have to break to destroy a country? Well, I think we're about to find out if we keep moving in this direction. Right? We are a train wrecking into a dumpster fire. We are a disaster wrapped in a, catastrophe. Right? It's just a mess. Causing a calamity all, remember that one? We are a disaster wrapped in a catastrophe, causing a calamity all its own. Remember that one? We used to say that all the time. Look, I think the solution is restoring the social covenant. And that is a major part of our political program. The process is arming, training, educating, organizing, and unionizing workers, tenants, and students, the broadest sections and deepest layers of humanity, all colors, creeds, ethnicities, sexes, genders, sexualities fall into those groups, right? That's why we call them the broadest sections and deepest layers of humanity. And we do that internationally. We unionize and get them more militant internationally. The global capitalist order must be confronted by an international socialist movement. It has to be. If there are people on Mars, the movement becomes interplanetary. You dig? Right? And you restore the social covenant in that process and with the program. What's the program? I keep saying the program. The program would be like, house the homeless with universal basic housing, treat the sick with universal health care, educate the ignorant and willing with pre-K through college. Okay? Stuff like that. Employ the unemployed with a universal jobs guarantee. Feed the hungry, clothe the naked, help the needy with universal basic income. That's restoring the social covenant, ending the forever wars. Right? That's restoring the social covenant. And you get these, and in the process, you restore these great truths. What's the ancient truth? Is it just flowery language? Is it something I can't enumerate? This isn't a rally. The ancient truth is just that without fresh air, clean water, pristine land, and flourishing wildlife, we don't exist. We would not even be here. The scientific truth is in relation to the process. It's that the workers, tenants, and students united, armed, trained, educated, organized, unionized, and united behind an international socialist program cannot be stopped. Right? That's the scientific truth. The intrinsic truth is just, look, you are greater than the sum of your parts. Okay? That's it. The sacred truth is that, think about it, every man, woman, and child deserves democratized living, learning, working places, and, of course, institutions. That's the sacred truth. The transcendent truth is probably the most flowery one of all, if you want to even go there, the most woo-woo, as people call it, right? It's just that you're really part of something greater than we can ever truly grasp, at least on an individual level, I'd say even as humanity. Right? That's all. That's all. So you use that process to get that program that will restore those great truths. Okay, it will kill the cult of the self, which is what we're trying to do. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that. You know what's up.